My first words would be, and then I woke up. Great pleasure to have been invited to this, your 30th anniversary. On behalf of my wife Fiona and myself, thank you for the kind invitation. I'm not too sure if my wife, who's president of my club, agrees with you that the president doesn't do much. It seems to be a lot happening at our club now that she's taken over the reins. I asked for a bit of history to be able to share about this club. Hopefully I'm not treading on any toes in sharing this. So Cambridge Treetown Toastmasters was chartered in 1992, originally under the name Theatrics Toastmasters. Not quite sure when that changed. Does anybody here know when that changed? And I'm personally interested, how did you come up with the name Treetown? That's beautiful. It's amazing. Was anyone here present involved in that decision? I'm looking at older faces. No.
Treetown's the other name for Cambridge.
Is it? Yeah. Treetown has always been another name for Cambridge. Oh, interesting. All right. In your guest book from those days, the names, a couple of names pop out. One is Colin Tollner, and the other one is Lorraine Sutherland. Apparently those are names that are known here today. And also Peter Elliott and Annie Muggeridge. So these were, I don't know if they were charter members, but they were definitely guests at your charter date. All right, that's as much history as I have for you to share, but it is my very great pleasure to present to you this certificate commemorating your 30th anniversary. Well done, President. Someone needs to take a photo because it will go in the next newsletter.
David's doing photos.
Yeah. Are you on video now, David?
He's on video.
The story of Treetown Toastmasters has been one of change, adaptability, and growth of members. Of course, some things don't change, and that is the core values. So integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Thank you. I knew we had people who knew all of that. Excellent. And I'd also like to warmly welcome our two guests, Craig and James and Fiona. It's just lovely, and Jamie of course, and lovely to have you here. The story of Treetown Toastmasters really reflects the technological change in the whole world, not just us in our little world. So we've gone from paper to pathways, and we've gone from meeting in person in the room to meeting in personal Zoom rooms, and it looks like Maria's got her own personal room this evening. I've got Maria there. To obviously the hybrid meetings. Now what I did, I should say, in terms of Toastmasters, teleporting. That's a word you need to keep remembering through my speech, teleporting. Now the cupboard at the back here is a veritable museum. I came along and I did some rummaging for a couple of hours, and I came up with some goodies. I call them goodies. 8 items of interest, plus one more I'll share with you. As James says, we were born in 1992, and he's given a little bit of an analysis of our guest book. Note the masks on the front, and more evidence, Theatrics Toastmasters. And anyone who's ever had that trophy, it actually says Theatrics Toastmasters, and I'm sure some of you are quite observant and will have noticed that. I had a look through, and I looked at the qualifications of the first people who came. Speech and drama, production, operatic baritone. Can you imagine a whole speech in operatic baritone? I wish I'd been there. And in addition to the other names that James mentioned, I found my name. I was like, okay, I'll just go to the left and look which year that was, 2004. So we know that there was a change from the Theatrics to straight Toastmasters in between 1992 and 2004. The Competent Communicator Manual. Now this is one of the big items of interest I found in our cupboard. But actually, it's more than just a competent communicator manual. No wonder people call it the CC manual. I opened it up, and guess whose name's in the front? Go. David Phillips. And so I now know that we have to keep this special item of interest in our club for another 20 years for our 50th anniversary. Don't know if it'll be here, but we've got to do it. So of course, the CC is really useful for going, oh, I'm up to here. You can do that in 3 seconds. But Pathways has got the interactivity, the quizzes, and you can see those great little videos of awesome speeches, what you're supposed to be doing. And I should mention too, it doesn't get lost. Pathways doesn't get lost, unlike some of these that seem to have legs sometimes, I think. What else did I find in my cupboard here? I found a whole collection of table topics cards. I just bought some of them. All you have to do is come along, if you forget, and use the table topics card. So here are a couple that I read. How will, just randomly, first couple, how will Toastmasters have changed 50 years from now? Whoa! Hit the nail on the head. Did I say some things don't change? And remember teleporting, that word. And another one, how would you convince your boss that you deserve a promotion? Well, I can tell you some things never change. So you're all here at the right place. If you want promotion, give that as a table topic and you'll get a whole lot of answers, then you're bound to get your promotion. Also, in our box of goodies, we had a whole stack of lexicologist items. RIANT. I thought, oh, rayon, French. What have they got French in there for? Turn it over. Laughing, smiling, or cheerful. Oh, it is English. No, how do you say it in English? So I had to go to the internet. Reant, right? I think it's so much more sexy or something in French, isn't it? Rayon? Yes, I thought so. Of course, instead of just going to the packet now, you can just leap onto the internet and search, and you've got the whole world's brains and it's all up to date, so it is pretty exciting to have that change. In Toastmasters, of course, we are forever delivering information. Now, I'm going to ask for hands up who has, no, I'm going to do it in the negative way, who has not used an overhead projector acetate? Who has never used one? Liam, have you used one?
I can actually change the filter on it to make a Star Wars sort of.
That's
Real
very
skill, actually.
avant-garde. So every single one of us has used an overhead projector. Good, I don't feel as old, thank you. That's great. Also, we got from Toastmasters International, we got all of our Better Speaker series in folders which are up in the cupboard there, and then guess what? We progressed to CDs. Yoo-hoo! Successful club series, but guess what? On our computers, who's got a CD drive? Nobody. I couldn't even buy one last time I went to get a computer, and that was a couple of years ago now. Toastmasters, yes, we have to do advertising. Guess what we did? If you didn't already know, business cards. We trotted around town putting them in the doctors' surgeries. Oh, we should go that way. The doctors' surgeries, maybe the hospitals, and maybe the supermarkets. It had a phone number on the back. Of course, no phone numbers anymore, the only website, so that's not so useful now. And of course, bookmarks distributed by the packet. We have a whole packet, so if you do want to give any to your friends, please do. Just cross off the phone number. But they will remind people that we are here. Nowadays, of course, we have Jane. Jane's our Facebook lady, and abetted by David with the photographs, and some of us sometimes just supplying what we can. And Facebook actually is the main way that we get members' interest in our club. Then, item number 7, magazines. We imported bucket loads, I shouldn't say bucket loads, I should say boat loads, shouldn't I? Boat loads of magazines with heavy postage, I can imagine, every month or so. It's got tips in it on how to be a good Toastmaster. And I thought, oh, I'll just look at this one. I thought, oh, I really have to share this one. This one is for Nick. There's the doctor, who was obviously, he decided it must be getting a little on, so probably just wait before you use this. It's getting on a little bit and he decided to retire. And he threw his own retirement party. Most of the guests were evidently his former patients. He started the meeting. Oh, we have a ring. Hello. So he invited his former patients. He started the meeting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, this is the first time I've seen most of you in clothes. Oh, well, that doesn't bear thinking about, does it? Got to be me. They have very useful tips in there if you do have to speak at your retirement party. And my last piece of, shall I say, my last artefact.
Wow.
And let me tell you, there's a slight story. Remember, we've gone from holding up pieces of paper to the lights with the bulbs, I'm sure everyone's familiar with those, to the backgrounds on Zoom. And when I joined this club here, the president came along a few weeks later and he said, I've got a new trophy to give out. And I'm going, okay, whatever that could be. He says, there are some people in the club who go overtime. And he said, look, I've got on it, Timekeepers Award, work in progress. And he awarded it to me on the first time. I wanted to get under the lectern and just run away. I'm a bit worried in case some things don't change in 2 minutes' time, and I'm probably going to do the same thing tonight. Now for my table topics reply. I just think of it as, if you like, beam me up Scotty. Teleporting. Last week-ish, Jane was up there, and then we came on the Monday and she was here. And it was like, is that Jane? Is that Jane? And even Philip came in late and he says, is that Jane? I was like, none of us had the gumption to go, are you Jane? I had to wait till Nick crept around the corner and said, this is Jane. Teleporting really works. But then of course we have Lynette. She's been teleported too. She's usually up there too. Yesterday, or even this morning, she was halfway down the North Island, surrounded by lakes and mountains, and now she's here. Boom, she just got here. So that's why I think that the technology of the future, for us, has got to be teleporting. We've just got to set up a few more fine details. So in some fellow Toastmasters, technology has become more sophisticated, but of course they are just aids to delivering our speeches. We're really here to build people's confidence, to get skills, and I have this personal just kind of hope, in that if the power went off, we would still cope. We could still carry on our meetings, power or no power. We've got batteries, right? And I think we're just passing from one person to the other.
Sorry.
So on the program we have Pam next, correct?
Yeah.
And I should like to welcome Pam forward to introduce our first activity.
So we're going to play a little game, and it's called Get to Know You Bingo. And you'll see a bit of paper coming around. There's 20 squares. I think there's about 20 of us, so maybe 20-ish. So what I would like you to do, and this is a standing up exercise, so I'd like you to go around and talk to people and get to know them and find someone who has done something on that square. So find someone who's a left-hander, find someone who can kill their tongue, and then you need to write down that person's name. I think there's enough people for a different name to be on a different box. And then the first person that fills all their squares up gets a prize. So if anyone needs a pen, there's some pens up here. Does anyone need a pen? Okay, and you've got 10 minutes. Yeah. Sorry? No, try not to put your own name in. Okay, so we've got 10 minutes starting from now. Sorry, Maria.
Sometimes I do a sport, yeah. It's all fun.
Just point it. Have you been a member of Toastmaster for more than 10 years? I thought you wouldn't. That was an easy one for me, wasn't it?
David, I'm putting you down for having a tattoo.
David, do you have a tattoo?
I don't, but I don't mind being put down as one of your hands.
When were you born?
1938,
What month?
December.
There we go, gotcha.
Where does that fit? They go past me. I might just take a toll.
Well, that's all right.
We'll work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Okay, hello.
Have you been there still diving?
I haven't. I'm sorry. No.
Which month were you born?
May.
Can you ski or snowboard?
I can ski. I'm not very good at it, but I can ski. Yes. Yes.
Yes, so your name is
James.
James.
Yes.
What was your birthday?
You can't do that, right?
Oh, you can? Okay.
Oh, you already got me. What about, do you like sushi?
Yes,
Okay.
very much.
James was a birthday.
May. Yes. If you're, what do you think for me?
She's got one left, okay.
Trying not to get
Before she gets her bingo. Thank you, Maria. You were actually quite you were quite an important part of this game because you were the girl with the tattoo. So you have to be very observant. So we do have a winner, and our winner is Fiona. So all right, who's next? Okay, I'd like to invite Jane up now, and she's going to be telling us some
Good evening, Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Maria, you're the only one online, but Lynette and I are here. It's great to see you. My role this evening is to conduct a 10-minute activity entitled Define the Words. And I have in front of me, and I'm going to be very careful so that the people closest can't see. How many have I got? I've got 15 words that actually exist. I doubt very much whether you will know them, but that you may know one or two, but you may know more. They're certainly new to me. I thought, oh, these are bound to be all Shakespeare words. Unfortunately, no. But some of them have some strange origins. I do have their definition here. So I thought that we would run this a bit like table topics.
Right.
Okay, so I will pick on someone. Please feel free if you don't want to participate to say pass, in which case I'll click on some other poor unsuspecting soul. But what I'm looking for here is try and be as imaginative as you can. They are quite funny words, so there's an opportunity to be humorous. Make it up however you want. It doesn't matter. This isn't a game where you have to get the definition right. You can make up your definition and let's see what they're like. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had table topics like that.
Pardon?
I think we've had a table topic.
Yes, I think we probably have. And maybe I'm going to set a trend. Maybe all our table topics for the rest of the year are going to be like this. So, I would like to acknowledge that Nick found the website where I found these words, so thank you very much. Because I'm out of dictionaries, I have no dictionary while I'm here. Right, so let's start. Would anybody like to be the first volunteer, or shall I just pick some?
Pick some of it.
I'm going to pick some. Lorraine, do you want to have a go? Choose a number between 1 and 15.
5.
5. Okay, let's have your definition of gubbins.
Gubbins.
Over to you.
Good evening, everybody, Toastmasters, and thank you very much, Jane, as well as Maria online. Gubbins. Well, the definition of gubbins is dipstick. I was the one that was a dipstick tonight, coming up here, being the first one here. And I appreciate that, but dipsticks can be in all sorts of things. You can have gubbins when you go to town. You can not drive your trolley very well in the supermarket. You can be a gubbin. You can steal someone else's trolley, and then you're definitely a gubbin. You don't even realise it. You get to the checkout and you've got somebody else's groceries in the trolley. That's me, gubbins. When you're ready, and when you go to the supermarket just before lockdown, because it's COVID coming, and you go, oh, I'm going to get there early before everyone else, and the queue's out the door. But yeah, you stay in the line. It's gubbins.
In the sentence. Oh. You can use it in a sentence.
In the sentence. Anita came to the supermarket with me and became a gubbin with me.
That's great. You're not that far off, actually. Gubbins means odds and ends, bits and pieces. Especially when you can't think of the name. Oh, I'll have that gubbins. So you weren't far away. Okay, Anita, would you like to have one? Come on up. Choose a number between 1 and 15, but not 5. 4. Could you tell us what a snicker snee is? A snicker snee.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, our guests, and yes. A snicker snee, I don't know what it means. I think it sounds like it comes out of Shakespeare. It reminds me of Oliver Twist even. I would probably say it was a prank. Something to do with pickpocketing perhaps, you know, that you had to go back to that fellow, you know, the one that had all those orphan kids. What was his name?
Fabian.
There you go, and he instructed all those little orphans to do that, and he probably termed it that snicker snee.
Wow.
I much prefer Anita's definition to the one I've got here. It is in fact a long, dangerous knife.
Oh.
Yeah. Again, not that far off. Nick? I'd like you to give the definition.
So stand up, run.
Bum fuzzle.
I like that everyone else got a choice.
There's only one for you.
Well, I feel like, you know, if you've been away on a long holiday and you've been travelling for a while and, you know, you haven't had the chance to have a shave for a little while, you know, and you sat there and you're a bit uncomfortable and you're like, oh, I think that's my bum fuzzle. Got the bum fuzzle again. Some laughing nods from the audience. There's a lot of people who experience bum fuzzle from time to time. So in summary, bum fuzzle is a little fuzzle that you get if you haven't shaved for a little while.
Excellent. It actually means to be confused or perplexed. Has Maria gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she couldn't speak back. I mean, there was no
Okay.
sound coming from here.
Okay. Liam, would you like one for the team?
Three.
Okay. Taradiddle. It's an adjective. Taradiddle. Who or what is a taradiddle?
Toastmasters. Mr. President, Taradiddle. I'm a little bit perplexed as opposed to Nick's website that you found these list of words on, bumfuzzle, taradiddle. But I think its origins hark back to the land of Hogwarts. Yeah. You pop into Hogsmeade's bar and you ask for a butterscotch and a taradiddle. quite a sharp aftertaste from memory. Smooths the nostrils, and for some reason there's school kids running into these pubs as well. That was a little bit of an overlooked thing from J.K. Rowling, but nonetheless, taradiddle. Can I have another glass?
Excellent. I'm much preferring these to the actual definition. A taradiddle is someone or something filled with pretentious nonsense.
Well.
Julie, would you like one? Choose me a number. I'll pick a number. 11. Wabbit. It's got nothing to do with speech impediment.
A wabbit without a speech impediment. Leaving fellow Toastmasters. Something was trying to help. I think that we used to play this game a lot, and I believe I have come across this word before. It's something that is very rare and found in very small parts of the house, where you come across things that haven't been unpacked for a long time. And if you look in a whole lot of boxes and you find old diaries, and you'll also find some wabbits. So thank you, Jane.
According to my definition, it's to be very tired. Oh, I'm a bit wabbit. Okay. Sharon? Number?
I have lucky 7.
Lucky 7. Oh.
Oh.
Bumbershoot. Bumbershoot. It's a noun, so something is, or someone is a bumbershoot.
Thank you, Jane. Fellow Toastmasters. A bumbershoot is a very old and rare word that has been used for centuries to describe the little thing that comes out if you look very, very closely at the bottom of your mushrooms after you've eaten certain ones. And then just at the bottom, before it comes down, there's a little bumbershoot. Now the bumbershoot is actually a very magical thing, because it is the bumbershoot that actually talks to other mushrooms. Now, science is slowly catching up how bumbershoots operate. Bumbershoots can actually send signals down through the fungi roots, across to the next mushroom, to the next bumbershoot, and say, watch out, human coming. And that is when they discolour and they turn this most amazing bright purple colour, which everyone knows is a sign of poison. And as soon as the person's gone, the bumbershoot goes, hey, and goes back to being a bumbershoot.
Fabulous definition. Are we on? Rachel, do you want to do?
Oh, what was the definition?
Oh, I beg your pardon, sorry, it's an umbrella. It's
An umbrella.
Coined by Disney, apparently. You may well find it in Mary Poppins or somewhere.
Just doesn't talk. Jane, we could perhaps dispense with the microphone if nobody's online.
Oh, yeah, no point, isn't it?
Oh, and the camera.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Well, is Maria not coming back?
We don't know, but if you want to text her, my phone's up
Seven,
there.
gone. I can do 8, 9, 10. 10. Oh, that's right. Pandiculation. Pandiculation.
Pandiculation.
Oh.
Good evening. Pandiculation.
Pandiculation.
Pandiculation is when you have the pot of the stove, except that you put it in the oven first, and then you go to grab it, and then you burn your hands, and then you use the cloth, and then you somehow you tip it off the edge of the bench, and it's the sound of the pan landing on the and then you jump out of the way, and then you shout and use a few nice words. That, fellow people, is pandiculation.
It's a great definition. It's a pandiculation. Fantastic.
Is it to do with translation? Is it to do with translation?
It's a stretching routine when you wake up.
No, it's not.
Have we got time for some more? Are we doing all right?
Probably let's say 2 more and then we should be
Two
doing
more.
this number.
Yes,
James,
sure. James, would you?
James.
James, do you want?
Sure.
Come on. Do you have a number or do you want me to choose?
Just choose.
Okay.
Whoa, brave.
This is a verb. Lollygag.
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 Madam Tabletop Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, lollygag. Actually, it's not an uncommon word. I've heard this before, I don't know about you, but it's lollygagging is the act of fooling around. So doing ridiculous things, and if you are a lollygagger, you are a tomfool. It is actually quite Shakespearean, so I can't drag this one out because I can't make up a story about it. But lollygag, have you heard? I'm the blank face. Some of you are seeing this word. Okay, over to you.
That's our first hole in one. Absolutely.
Then you
true.
get tomfoolery as well.
Yeah.
I like that one.
No, it's good. Okay, this is a Shakespearean one. This is the one that I will end with. Phil.
Here we go.
It's a great word.
I bet it is.
Flibbertigibbet.
Oh, I love it. You were the one that said Mary Poppins before.
I did. I've say Mary Poppins before. Unfortunately, my age means that the last time I watched it was about 25 years ago, which is when I was 2. So, flibbertigibbet.
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 Yes.
That's it. Flibbertigibbet.
To flibbertigibbet is to waltz around the room like there's just no care in the world. You go around, you might be cleaning, you might be, I don't know, running around naked, you're flibbertigibbeting. And that is where you just have the most confidence in the world. You're so within yourself, you're so out with yourself as well. And that is when you're flibbertigibbeting.
Again, not a million miles from the truth. A flibbertigibbet is somebody who talks incessantly and is a bit silly. Anyway, that concludes my contribution for the evening. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even use some of the words. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane. That was pretty hilarious. Thanks for the input, everybody. Right, you're all invited to supper. There's plenty to eat. and there's tea and coffee in the kitchen garden. Oh, Anita's baked us a cake. Okay. So maybe when we're all sorted out there, we'll watch Anita cut the. What, you want someone else? Well, I'm going to say you should cut it so you're the expert, and then we'll all give her a cheer. How about that?
Yeah, I was probably one of the last.
No, we still do you have keys now? And I'll just get it on one. Yay! Happy birthday to the club. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Wow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Julia. Happy birthday to you. Hooray!
Hooray! And Anita's about to cut this beautiful cake.
Did someone take a photo?
Take a photo.
Do you guys want a photo of your club?
Oh, good.
Oh, I like that cake, no?
Hang on, take a photo.
This piece is bigger than my cake. Can I have the middle?
Why don't we okay, we'll just, I think we'll get Anita to serve up. Yeah. Just what? Oh, no, there's
There's more. That's a lot of cake we're going to eat up.
That's my partner. Well, I think what we'll do is Anita will
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. My name is Veronique and I'm going to run the Irish debate. Does anyone know what an Irish debate is?
What's the matter? I don't know.
It's nothing to do with drinking, I'll tell you. The idea of an Irish debate, and they do this in schools in Ireland, is that we have two teams, and the natural way to do that is each side will be on a team. Right, that's the first step. Each team needs to select its own team leader. Who is the team leader for your team? So now if you can just decide who the team leader is.
I said first.
Craig?
Did
you say Craig? Oh.
But it doesn't have to be me.
Craig.
Go for it, James. Go for it, James.
All right.
Now I'll tell you the job of the team leader. The team leader's job is to be responsible for choosing who will make the next team contribution. One of the key things on Irish debates is that everyone has to speak. Yeah. So who are the team leaders?
Yeah.
Craig, since you're closer, I have a coin and I'm going to toss it. He calls me tosser. Right, heads or tails?
Okay, tails.
The one that's the queen.
There was a queen actually.
Have they started punching those?
Yeah, that was quite amusing. And the reason I chose this $2 coin rather than one of the American coins, if anyone's been to America, do you know how small those coins are? I don't know why they bother. They're nice. Anyway, does your team want to be for or against?
Oh. Don't know what the mood is yet.
Doesn't matter.
I think we're a rural team, we'll go against.
Be against.
So we're going to be
Yeah.
we're rebutting. Okay, we're rebutting. That means we're going against their idea.
So we're going for, so who's...
Don't change the words, it's against. This side will be team A, this will be sometimes team B, and there's no reflection on order. Okay. Team A are against. And would you like to go first or second?
Well,
They have to start it, yeah.
Why?
Because they're the affirmative.
That's not in the rules. No, the same team will also be speaking.
But they've chosen the opposition. Who speaks first?
That's a good
You're going The debate starts, and each side takes it in turn to make a contribution. It's literally debate tennis. So keep that in mind. With sides contributing, no, it doesn't have to go in order. Back and forth. The team leader is responsible for who speaks next. And it does help your team leader if you've got an idea and you put your hand up. If no one puts a hand up, they'll choose you. Because a point is scored each time a contribution is made. Noted on the board, what will be noted by me. Points are deducted for hesitations, repetitions, calling out or distractions to the current speaker of any kind. So that this is not Parliament. So this is great management technique, as any disturbances result in point deductions. And participants, as I understand, learn very quickly. And the debate leader can also add other reasons for point deductions, which is really powerful. The main thing is that each member must contribute, and failure to do so will mean, this is really important, that the team automatically loses no matter how well they are doing. Let me repeat that.
No one can pass.
The main thing about Irish debating is that each team member must contribute. It doesn't. So that's the key thing of a team leader. Put your hand up to help your other team members if you've got something to say. But if you haven't said anything yet, and you know you're going to end up not supporting your team by not saying anything, think of something and put your hand up. Allow the participant to have a practice go. Oh, okay. Let's have a practice go. Oh, how many in each team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
There's a lot of experienced ones on that side.
Right, 10, right.
10? Yeah, but you'll go
We got 20 people. That's perfect plus.
Plus David, 21. Plus Veronique, 22.
Oh, I'm not playing.
No.
I'm not staying. Oh, yes.
I was just...
22.
Sorry.
Okay, my test one is, should zoos be closed? Team A are against, and Team B are for. And Team B are speaking first. Are we ready? Who's timing? I'll time it.
No, you can say it.
It's the word. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Zoos should be closed.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
For and against.
Yeah.
We're for, aren't we?
We're for.
They should be. They should be.
Yes.
And this is just a test.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes. One question, how long are we speaking for?
Tim.
Because
No more than about 30
it
seconds.
doesn't even say that.
No,
Just-
no more than about 30 seconds, because we've got limited time.
Okay. On your marks, get set, go.
Zoos should be closed, they're inhumane and cruel to animals.
Zoos are exactly why we should appreciate our animals. They're a way for us to actually view them, connect with them, and preserve them in a safe environment. The cruelty when you're in a safe environment and your meals come to you every 3 times a day, I just don't get it.
Animals should be seen in their natural environment. If they're seen in a zoo, it's not their natural environment. They're often grazing and walking on concrete. So to really appreciate their true beauty, you should see them in their natural environment.
These are great places to take your children to learn about the animals in the world and for them to have that really tactile, close-up experience with animals, and they often have playgrounds and things. It's a fantastic family environment.
Stop. Right, that was 1 minute.
Me.
We're now going to do the actual topic. Right, the actual topic is against and for. New Zealand should become part of Australia.
I knew you'd like it.
Oh, they already done stuff.
Can you start?
Yes. Your leader says you go. And I thought, can you tell us when you want us to start? So, just getting my paperwork out. James quite over already. On your mark, please, go.
New Zealand should become a part of Australia because all things great can be done with economy of scale. So if we join forces with Australia, we can get things like good recycling systems in place because we've got access and the people to put behind it.
Our indigenous cultures are very different. New Zealand, we have the Māori. In Australia, they have the Aborigines. If you were to mix these two cultures, it would not be the same. So you could not have New Zealand and Australia merging into one.
New Zealand and Australia should combine. Our Indigenous people have so much to teach the Australians. How to negotiate and how to get into Parliament. We have so many things that our Māori people can show the Aboriginal people and the Australians.
I think the problem with merging New Zealand with Australia is that Australia is full of Australians. And frankly, they are a different breed. I think our two peoples do not mesh. They're so Americanised, the Australians. It's bizarre. We do not fit with them. Our cultures are quite different.
New Zealand should merge with Australia because we would have won the cricket. We merged with Australia. So we could combine our sporting resources.
Australia criminals. They came to New Zealand and they stole heads and all sorts of Maori artifacts, and we don't want you here.
We should combine with Australia so we can all move over there and live on the Gold Coast and just have a good old time studying ourselves, going to Red and Wild, and spending all our time at the beach.
New Zealand should not be merged into Australia because we are proud enough to have kiwi. No need to have kangaroo because
New Zealand should be part of Australia. Well, I love kangaroos, and there's not enough of them here in New Zealand. We could import them in, it'd be fucking fantastic.
Well, I think the speaker has just made the point that wouldn't it just be horrendous if our accent just suddenly slipped to someone like that? Sydney and all that across the deck. I think, actually, I prefer well-pronounced vowels.
New Zealand should become part of Australia because that way we can phase out people calling each other bro, and we can phase in everyone calling each other mate. Australia is such a great place, and we are so intelligent here that us male Australians even refer to females as mates. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, everyone can just be your mate, not your bro.
I don't think New Zealand should become part of Australia because I just don't want the Australian animals over here. You know, don't want the bloody snakes and the giant spiders. Frankly, it's quite nice having New Zealand as it is.
I think I think we should merge because then we can progress over there in the dairy sector, that we can grow utilise that land, water it, and milk more cows. And because we've got a bit of a stock here in New Zealand, so yes, I think we should merge with Australia.
But I think we are quite an eclectic international group in this room. But I know that we all, when we're overseas, we like to compare ourselves and make sure we're not Australians. What better reason than not becoming part of Australia, if not just the bilateral hatred that we have in this part of the world, but the unity that we have in comparing ourselves and not being that person overseas. What a great reason to stay separate.
I think we should be part of Australia because then we could take back the things that are really ours because they can stop stealing. Like Pavlov, crowded house.
Before I travel to Australia, I also think that it's I think so. New Zealand should belong to the Australia, but I traveled to the Australia. I think that it's from their culture, from their history is very different, and their people. And I think the New Zealand should keep their special culture and environment. Yeah. So.
Speaking as a native Northern Hemisphere inhabitant, most people in Europe and Great Britain think Australia and New Zealand are virtually the same place, so I think we may as well make it official.
It's not too dissimilar to Wales and England, as far as
When our countries got founded by England, they said New Zealand was part of Australia, but we knew better than that, and so we stayed separate. And so it should continue in that way as it's been, because we're quite distinct from them, much more law-abiding and honest. And most of the time, not always. So I think we need to stay separate.
Ladies and gentlemen, the opposition have stated the case for us that it is in the Australian Constitution that New Zealand may become a part of Australia already. So it is very easy to enact that. As well, we would be able to legitimately call them our West Island, as we have been calling them, and it should always be known as that. I rest our case!
Everyone had a go? No?
Yeah.
There is the internal question. Who would be playing the rugby?
South
Do you think so, Juan? This young lad, who do you think won the debate? Nothing. People? Maybe. You had exactly the same number of points. There weren't any extraordinary quarters. David, have you got an opinion?
You want to do the last activity, or what do you want to do? Tell a story. Or do you want to do something else?
Should we quickly do the last activity? If you want to.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do
do
it.
it.
Team Sharon. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Finish the story. It is not called Johnny's Whispers, apparently, because we are politically correct here at Cambridge Street Town Toastmasters. So, there is one person I haven't heard from tonight. So what we'll do is basically start a story, move it on, pick it up, move it over. So I'm just going to randomly pick out people, 45 seconds, keep it going, end at a climax, give me a cliffhanger, give me some excitement in your story, and of course, you know, it's yours. Here we go.
Do you want Liam to put the red light on the 45? Oh, we've turned it off, have we? No. No.
What do you think?
Red light at 45 seconds.
Red light at 45 seconds?
45 seconds,
Everyone up
okay.
with the challenge of 45 seconds?
What do you want, 30? 30.
30 seconds? Alright, 30 seconds, 20 people. Do the maths, that's going to work. Okay, So, we're driving along. It's a dark and stormy night.
Mhm.
You think you're completely following the road rules. Cars read judge. You know how you do that automatic thing when you see a cop? Red warrant, speed limit, check, breath, gone, good. Lady pulls you over. Smart looking young man comes up, very official, knocks on the window, says, "Excuse me, ma'am, can you please show me your license?" She just realised something. What do you do, Fiona?
What was that, officer?
My license. It's on the back of my phone here somewhere. Oh no, that's not my license. It'll be in the boot somewhere. Do you want me to get out and get it?
Nicky.
On second thoughts, don't go in the boot. I think I've left my license at home, but hold on a sec, just let me call my husband. You can talk to him yourself too. He'll tell you where it is and he'll give you all the details.
Over to you, husband Dan.
Yes, this is Nikki's husband. Yes, the license. Oh, I'll tell you a really funny story about that. The last time we saw that license was in jail. We went to get the stuff in the bag and it just was missing.
Over to you, Officer Susan.
Yes, we do have a license here, but it's not the kind of license you thought. It was a firearms license. You let this guy out on the road, did you? Oh my golly me. That license shouldn't be out there. Oh, it's the lady, sorry. You let this lady out on the road. She's a killer. She's a killer lady. And I think that you should bring her in.
Great.
So I started planning. Clearly this was a dangerous situation and we need to bring the dangerous person in. So I contacted my Toastmasters club. Got them to be armed and warrior. You know, so all New Zealand, there's lots of firearms and for hunting and things, and everyone went to get the most appropriate weapon they could have, and there's torch lights so that they could start the hunt for this dangerous killer.
We all have our pitchforks. We have all got our torches. Let's go find this wicked, wicked woman. She must be near her broom. She's gonna come and get all of us. We must find her and make sure to put her on the end of our pitchforks.
So she flew in on her broom because she had a sense that they were looking for her. So she flew in and she landed right next to the scene.
Jamie.
Next to the
scene.
There's no need for my license when you're flying on a broom in the air. Tell me, officer, what laws am I breaking?
Do you want to go, Jared? Liam, you'll come up with something. What rules is she breaking?
What laws am I breaking?
What laws is she breaking on her broomstick?
What laws aren't you breaking? Physics? Civil aviation? I'm using that.
It might have been Nimbus 2000.
Is it Nimbus 2000? I do wonder, why is it, how did you get water on your nose?
Verily.
Well, another story. As I was sniffing around, I'd landed a bit strong on the broom, and I just kind of nose planted a bit, and I must have had a little bit of, anyway, there it is. But I was so glad to have arrived at the scene of the Toastmasters Club.
So we gathered at Toastmasters and we had to come up with a plan. What best alternative is it for her to extract her from the situation?
And Jane says, so let's wrap it up, Mr. President. How did it all finish up?
It all finished up because the lady on the broom realised that she was showing a little bit of bum fuzzle. And she realised that she had to go home very quickly. She picked up the broom and sailed straight off for home.
Can I make a motion that we change the name to the Bullshitters Club?
Okay, I get to close the meeting. The president. Okay, Nick can do it.
Fellow Toastmasters are really, really welcome guests, and it's been an amazing evening to have everyone here together from across the world. We've had lots of people from all different countries here this evening. We've got to know each other. I've had a fantastic evening, and I think we should finish by singing a little happy birthday. To our theatrics that we started off.
Right.
Yeah. So we should finish with happy birthday.
Operating baritone.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, dear us. Happy birthday to us. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! See you in 20 years for the 50th. Thanks everyone.
It's your birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. It's your birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.